Tyson Bryden. Welcome to Nonstop Rock Talk. Today we are joined by legendary Easy Action, Shotgun Messiah, and Zan Clan singer, Zinny J. Zinny, welcome. How are you doing?
Hi, Tyson. Thank you very much. I'm doing fine here back in Sweden. Thank you.
Very nice. So how are things in Sweden in relation to the COVID pandemic?
Well, it's not that good, to be honest. It's been a year now, like I think it's been for everyone else and around the world as well. But quite a lot of people are dying. We have never had a real close down or anything, but we had like partly closed downs, like restaurants and so on, and universities. Not the regular public schools but universities. So it's been kind of strange because you don't see a good pattern. Either if you close it or not. But we haven't had curfews or anything like that. But then again, we have had a lot of deaths here in Sweden. I think we're per capita we're pretty high. I think we're like around top 5 if you look in per capita. And if we look at our neighbors like Finland and Norway, they have like 500 people dead. We have 10,000, around 10,000.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
It's a considerable amount if you're looking at our neighbor countries.
Right. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we in Canada? We're 35, 36 million people. I don't know what our total death toll of the whole country is, but I believe it's far below that. I think. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, they're talking about in Toronto now of having curfews because our numbers are high again. We're looking in Ontario, the province of Ontario, which is kind of like like the states. Like kind of we have 10 provinces, but 3,000 to 4,000 people a day are testing positive, which is the highest numbers we've had so far. So it's not getting any better. So
no, and to be honest, Tyson, I don't think we will see any kind of improvement until maybe in March.
Yeah,
Because, you have to remember that this is some kind of flu, and the flu thing usually starts around November, and then November, December, January, February, and so on and so forth.
that's right.
And then it kind of goes down again. So I think that we will see high numbers all around the place, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that the vaccine is now becoming available, but our understanding is that the country ordered 70,000 vaccines and it's almost out. And it's going to be a while before they get more. So, like you said.
and to think about that, if you have 70,000, that I don't know how your government will act, but if you have 70,000 vaccines, you probably will have 35,000 that will be vaccinated because they will need a second shot as well.
Right.
So that that puts it down to 35,000 people instead, because they probably will secure that they have the second one, so they are good to go, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, for the most part, it's our health care workers and whatnot that are getting it, which I think they should. So slowly, we're slowly getting through it. We'll make it through.
It's absolutely crazy. I don't know about you, but I got kids. My daughter, she's grown up and all that, but my son is like 11 years old.
Same age as my son. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been having a lot of questions as well, I can imagine. Or
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Now, so getting to music. So before we get into the past stuff, let's talk about you right now. I understand your last 3 albums were Swedish language only releases.
Yeah, that's correct. I did 2013 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
2 good friends of mine, Chris Laney, and I plays in the band called Pretty Maids, and used to play with me, Zinny J, and the guitar player Rob Marcello from Danger.
Yep.
They contacted me and wanted to do play some Shotgun Messiah songs. These guys are, crazy Shotgun Messiah supporters,
Yeah.
and since they have tried so many times to see if Shotgun Messiah, the original, could get back together, that they said that okay, but since you and Sticks, the drummer, is in Sweden, why don't we put something together? And that we did. And we did some festivals with it. And right after that, when I was sitting there and trying to, okay, I'm going to do a new album. And I don't know, I came to a point where I thought like every riff, I usually start, my process was usually starting to find that cool riff and then maybe a good chorus, and I could build around that.
Right.
But I picked up the guitar for weeks. I just had, well, done that. No, that's a rap thing. No, that's a Def Leppard thing. No, that's an Aerosmith thing. Done that, done that. And I said, I'm not getting anywhere. And the thing is, like, I always played the kind of music that I played ever since Easy Action. It's not, it's not that far Easy Action, Shotgun Messiah, and SoundCloud. It's kind of the same vein.
Yeah.
But I like a lot of different music. So I thought to myself, and I said, like, okay, fuck it, I'm not getting anywhere with this because I've been, been in the business for 30 years, and I felt like, have I lost it totally? I can't write songs. So I told myself, like, okay, take away all the barriers and just sit down with a guitar, and whatever comes out, comes out. And that's what I did. So I didn't start with a riff or anything. So I kind of changed my process of writing. And all of a sudden, these different stuff came up, not as hard as I played before, the songs I wrote before. So it's more a rock and roll based thing. But at the same time, when these songs came out, it was more of stories. When I could write stories for it. And then I thought to myself, I never in my life I have tried my native language. And since I said, okay, if you're gonna change some stuff, just throw it all up there and do it all the weird things that you want to do. And I thought to myself, okay, now is the time. I'm turning 50 years old, and then so that's what I did. I did a native Swedish album, singing in Swedish.
Cool.
And it got very good reviews, and people really liked it here. And then I said to my producer, who's also my drummer, and I said, okay, let's do a trilogy. So for 3.5 years, we did 3 albums. And it's very well received. And the funny thing these days, right now, I think I got 4 radio stations in England playing, playing the latest album, which is in Swedish. And I have become friends with one of the guys from the radio station. And I asked him seriously, how come you play my album? I'm absolutely grateful and happy about it, but how come you play my album in England? I said, like, well, music is universal. I don't care. I don't care what. Of course, I would love to know what you sing about, but it's not that. It's the music and the melodies, and we love it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. So
that's very cool.
So for 3.5 years now, we've done 3 albums, and it's been an absolutely fun ride, and it's been a good thing for me to do something completely different, so to speak.
That's fantastic. But I do understand that you are working on a new English album.
Yes. The thing is now people are getting used to this more, what would you say, maybe mature sounding. I go under my surnames as surname Stagman.
Yeah, right.
That's my true name.
Yes.
So this is Stagman was very mature rock and roll, and they talk when they hear it, they're talking about kind of a Bruce Springsteen U2-ish thing or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I thought, like, okay, now you think you have me in that place, so now I gotta do something completely different again.
Oh, boy.
And yes, so what I'm doing right now is I'm going back to the harder stuff. I'm not saying it's not going to sound like San Clan or Shotgun Messiah, but I'm going back to a harder thing. And of course, this has been quite some time now since I wrote something for the English audience.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, that last Zan Clan studio album, uh, which is We Are Zan Clan. Who the
Who the
fuck are
fuck
you?
are you?
Who the fuck are you? I think I wore that CD out, to be honest with you. It was so good. There was a live album that followed, but then nothing. What happened there?
Well, that's kind of a funny story. First of all, thank you very much. I know both me and Chris Laney. We're pretty proud of that
It's a
album.
great
We
album.
thought we yeah. I think it shows. We had a great time writing it and recording it.
Yeah.
It was a joyride. It was like a party in the studio all the time. We took it very seriously, but we wanted to have that, to feel that this is good time rock and roll, and this is so. It's really nice to hear that you really like the album, and yeah, SoundCloud, we had a good run. Not in the US, because everything had at that time. This album, I think we're talking about 2005 up to 2007 or eight.
Yeah.
It was pretty dead with the rock or the metal thing in the US. So, but we were playing together. We were open up for Whitesnake, Queensryche, this and that, and did festivals, and everything worked out pretty fine. But then two other guys, the bass player and the lead guitar, is Pontus, they wanted to try out one thing with a friend of ours doing the Eurovision thing.
Right.
And I don't think, having people in the band during the Eurovision stuff, while we have an album out called "We Are SoundCloud." Who the fuck are you?
Good point.
It doesn't really work. I want, the things that I do, I want them to be dead honest.
Right.
And maybe I'm strange in that way, but I thought that, hey guys, you can't do this. And they said, well, this is a big TV thing, this and that. And I said, well, you do it, you're out of the band. And so that's what we did. They were out of the band, and we took in two other people. And we started the next album. But
Okay.
halfway through that, Chris had a shot at the solo deal.
Right.
So he said, "What do you say?" And I said, "Well, go for it, Chris. He's younger than me and everything." And I said, take this. If you want to take some songs from it, you do that." And I go away thinking of what will probably be my next move, so to speak. So it turned out that two or three of the songs for the next SoundCloud album ended up on Chris Laney's album.
Oh, okay. I have that album, actually, I believe. I have that
Yeah.
CD. Yeah. I'll have to look at those credits. That's cool.
Yeah, I think I think three or four songs there.
Awesome. Now, it's funny because there was a first Zan Clan album, which was Citizens of Wasteland.
Yes.
Which was 1994. And then
it should be called Zinny J in the Wasteland, I think.
Oh, okay. Zinny J in the Wasteland.
Yeah, it was a very bad time for me. I had a disease. I got a disease called Crohn's syndrome. I don't know if you know what that is.
Oh yes, I do. Yep.
Yeah. So I was thrown in with that one. And then I got a divorce. My father died, and my sister got cancer, and I was pretty fucked up myself.
Oh no, Dave.
So trying to do that album, there were some good ideas on that album, but that album, it's poorly produced, it's poorly recorded, and it's wow. That's an album I want it to be lost. To be honest,
I have not listened to it in a long time. I don't think. I can't remember. I mean, I just have it here, but
I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Well, that's funny. And then, I mean, of course, you had your first solo album was released in
my first English solo album.
Yeah, City Boy Blues.
Yeah,
and that was 2003, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2002 or 2003. So that was like a year or 2 years before we formed SoundCloud again with Chris Laney this time.
Yes. I actually believe I have a Zan Clan t-shirt somewhere.
Oh yeah, we have that SoundCloud. We are SoundCloud. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, that was the one I have with the 3/4 cut sleeve. I have a bin full of rock T-shirts. I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
Okay, there you go.
Well, I kind of didn't want to wear it anymore because I wanted to kind of keep it. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. So now, let's talk about Shotgun Messiah. I've always found it interesting that you guys were Kingpin first, and I mean, it's kind of a cool story that you guys had done that Kingpin album in Sweden and then moved to the States. And I actually just got that Kingpin album. I hunted it down this year because yeah, and I was like, you know what, I'd really like to have that because I have the Shotgun Messiah album, and then so I put it on. And now my question was it the exact same album when it became Shotgun? No, it wasn't, eh?
No, it almost was, but a few things were changed on this Kingpin. For starters, the first one that comes to mind. This is like 30 years since we recorded those, but the song "Shout It Out,"
right?
On the Shotgun Messiah album, it starts with Tim screaming guitar.
That's right. Okay.
And on the Kingpin album, the original is fuck you, and then we start the song. But the US said, no, there's no way, we cannot sell the album if you're gonna shout fuck you in the beginning. So that was changed.
Right.
And then it's the producing. The producing is different.
Yeah, Matt J. Olson produced the Kingpin album, and then it's right. Huh. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. And this Matt Olausson, who produced the Kingpin album, he used to be the keyboard player for Yngwie Malmsteen.
Oh, did he? Okay. Like Eclipse era, or do you remember what era that was?
Oh.
I always like to hear about Yngwie. That's what, and they changed the track listing too a little bit, I believe. Yeah. Right? They changed the track listing.
Yeah. And the same with the ending of the Shotgun Messiah album. Where I did a little tribute from Queen and took this the beginning of a Queen song called "Bright on Rock," and I screamed over that. I'm gonna live, I'm gonna die down Decadential Drive. That's how the Shotgun Messiah albums ends. But with the Kingpin, it's a minuet played on a piano with Matt Larson was playing.
Yeah.
But we sampled in this "fuck you," so it's a "fuck you" minuet.
I like it.
So, yeah. And that, of course, was taken away from the album as well.
So when you guys, when the band moved to LA, were you still using the Kingpin name, or did you guys decide to go to LA and you were going to change the name?
I took the album was made. I took the album over to the US.
Right.
I was shopping around, and I got 5 different record companies that were interested, and after 14 days, I went back to Sweden again, and then we started negotiating. And the one that came to the one that really, really wanted us that bad was Relativity Records,
right?
And also due to the fact that they were the only one that could promise us to relocate us to the US. And why was that important? Well, when new bands were coming up back then, like it was Extreme, it was Warrant, Skid Row, and so on and so forth. Right. If we're going to try to compete with them, we need to be in that country. We can't just go to the US and do 3 weeks of playing and then go back to Sweden and wait and see what happens. So we really wanted to have this, let's move over there. And Relativity Records said, well, we can do that. And that's why we went for them, because they really believed in us. So that was really good, a good record company.
Yeah, and I mean, to this day, you see people still talk about that first Shotgun Messiah album. And I know on Facebook myself, someone posted about Kingpin and had that album cover, and I said, well, you know what, I actually have that. I have that version. And they're like, oh, that's so cool. And then the comments were just, that's such a great album, you know, and then over and over again. So. And I always felt it was. I recall I got the tape probably 89, 90
Okay.
I think it was
Okay.
through one of those record clubs, right?
Yeah.
Where you order 13 albums
Yeah.
and, like when that. And then
Yeah.
I remember I played it quite a bit. And then this vinyl that I've actually got that I have actually still, I've opened it and played it, but it actually still has the plastic on it. And it's still got the, what do you call it? The stencil.
This little nice thing.
Yeah, that little stencil that
Yeah.
you could use, you could paint on whatever, which was cool, and it's still perfectly intact.
Yeah, that was also the thing with the US thing. When we say that we wanted this internet, we say, well, that is to encourage youngster to do graffiti.
Yeah,
And we said, no, it's on the jeans jacket or whatever.
yeah,
And they said, no, we can't put that in. And we said, yes, you have to. And they said, we don't know if we wanted to do other stuff. Well, we're not attaching a spray can, so come on. So we had to be honest, we had to fight about for that one, but I think it was a good thing to do.
no, I think it is too. I mean, I don't think I'll ever use it, but back then I probably would have. Like, especially, I mean, myself as a guitar player, I probably would have taken that and like put it on spray painted it on a guitar case or something like that. You know what I mean?
Just like Tim and Harry did.
That's right. That's right. So after the album, that version, relative to when that came out, I would assume the band toured extensively.
Yeah, we did. We toured quite frequently, and we started after the first leg of the tour. We started out in Dallas, to be honest, and that for the first time for four Swedes, and we come into this kind of a dance hall thing. It was really big.
Yeah.
It was a lot of cowboys, and we go like, "What the hell? How is this gonna come down?" But it worked out really fine. I don't think we had any incidents anywhere back in those days. We even played Bronx. I think they had L'Amours in Bronx or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was never difficult to play in the U.S. You always had very nice audience, cool audience, and you could tell they really love the music, and they know the music in a different way than they do maybe in Europe.
Right.
And that's what we liked quite a lot with it. And we were also on our way over to Canada, but for some reason that got canceled. And then we continued in the US for the second leg as well. But yeah, we did a lot of touring, and that album that you're holding there,
yeah,
it was on the top bill back in those days. The top Billboard was all the music, Now you have the top Billboard hard rock or whatever, but back then it was Billboard sold albums, no matter if it was Tony Braxton or Michael Jackson or Van Halen or whatever.
Yeah.
And that album was top 200 for almost half a year.
Really? Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I think 25 weeks in the top 200.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, the picture that appears on the back of the album with the guitar and the cigarettes and the handcuffs and the bullets, was that kind of a staged thing where they wanted all that on there, or do you know much about that back cover?
Yeah, it was us. We said, okay, we had the cover. The only thing we didn't like with the front cover, we loved the front cover thing.
Yeah.
But we always told Relativity Records, don't play on our Swedish heritage. But they just couldn't help it. So it's blue and yellowish on the,
right.
So they try to do it, as little as possible. But we said, okay, so what are we? And that's what we wanted to do in the back. So this metal thing, it's kind of a T-shirt that Styx wore.
Yeah, I see that there. Yeah, it's right in the top left corner.
Then since we were called Shotgun Messiah, we had this bullet with our names on it, right?
Yeah. Oh, so I didn't notice that. I never noticed that. Your names are on there.
Yeah. So we did a lot of stuff around the shotgun thing. So there we got bullets with our name in it. We also did a photo session with our pennies on our eyes.
Yeah.
which you did when you shot people in the West, back in the Wild West. But yeah, we staged, the whole band staged the back cover to
That's
see,
cool.
okay, what are we all about? And it was,
Yeah.
booze, cigarettes,
I see
and
that. Winston's and Corona, and that's awesome.
yeah.
Now, who wrote out the track titles?
I think that is, if I'm not reminding myself, it's either Tim or Harry, but I think it's Tim.
That's cool, man.
It could be Harry. I'm not sure.
You know what?
I think,
That's a really great conversation piece.
yeah. And the guy there, you should have a guy there with a draw guy, right?
Yep, a draw. Yeah, yeah. He's right beside the shirt.
That's Harry, that's the Shotgun Messiah, according to Harry. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
so Harry did that one.
Yeah, and is that a U.S. flag in the top right? Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool that you guys included that on there too. That's interesting.
Yeah, but again, we always salute to the U.S. since you gave us they gave us the chance.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Now there's a tape on here that's got Relatively Records, says Shotgun Messiah. Was that an actual tape, or was that a decoy?
Yeah, it was an actual cassette.
Okay. When it was the music of the album on it, it wasn't just like a decoy of they just put a label.
No, not a decoy at all. It was actually the cassette.
That's cool. And then there's a picture of you guys on the guitar as well. A little picture, which is cool.
Yeah.
And a set of keys. There's a lot on here.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It is.
Yeah, it's very cool. That would be cool to have in a poster. I'm surprised they never did that. That's cool. It's very cool. So we moved to after. So you left the band, or I'm not exactly sure exactly what happened. Were you guys working on a second album?
Oh yeah. What happened was that we continued touring in the 1990s. Then into the 90s, we started the touring in 1989.
Right.
We had a break. We had the Christmas show in Hollywood when we came home at the Roxy, and then we had a few days off, and then we were off to Cincinnati to start again January 3rd, 1990, and that we did. But we didn't come that far because I think January 18th, my birthday.
Oh wow! Which is coming up.
Yeah, which is coming up. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Sticks went up to. We were out outside of New York. We were in Saratoga Springs. It's called.
Right.
And that's it's just kind of a ski resort as well. And I used to be a heavy skier, so I wanted to go out skiing. And the record company said no one in the band can go ski, due to the fact if someone breaks their hand, finger, whatever, the tour is over. And I said, okay, but I'm the singer, so I will not break my neck. So can I please go out skiing?
Yeah.
And then they said, yeah, you can do it, but no one else. And then I said, okay, and it's kind of a bummer, against the other guys.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, fuck it, I will not.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Sticks is gone, our drummer. So he went with the T-shirt guys and a couple of other guys skiing.
Oh no.
And the best thing of skiing in their minds was after every down, every time you come down from the mountain, you had a Jägermeister.
Nice.
And then you go up again and another Jägermeister, which ended up that Sticks fell drunk as a skunk, broke his arm.
Oh no.
Yep. So we did a show in Saratoga Springs. That was the last gig we ever did together as the original.
Yeah.
And I think we managed 5 or 6 songs. Sticks was playing with one hand only.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we went back to Hollywood again, where we lived.
Yeah.
And we were starting writing songs. For some reason, Tim sat a lot with himself writing songs. Harry came up to me a few times writing together with me. And all of a sudden that stopped, and it was kind of a bad vibe. I don't know what happened, but it was not a very. It was kind of a, what should I say? Tim and Harry were hanging, and me and Sticks were hanging. So
Yeah.
it was kind of a. I don't know what happened,
Yeah.
but the thing is like we always, we breathe, eat, think Shotgun Messiah all the time. And when we came back home, I don't know what, something went south there.
Yeah.
So I think that I know that Tim wasn't too happy with me. And I was kind of, I didn't know what kind of direction his music that he was writing were going.
Yeah.
But so we sat down, and then Tim and Harry and Sticks said, okay, we want you out of the band.
Wow.
And at the same time, I have looked for other things as well, because I didn't know what's going to happen with the band, because
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden everything was closed around it. So that was it. And then the record company tried to patch things up. But of course, they had me out for dinner a couple of times, and they said, go back and tell them that you're sorry. And I said, well, what should I be sorry about? If I don't know what I've done, I don't know what to be sorry about.
Yeah.
And I said, I think that because I know that Tim has been taking singing lessons.
Right.
And then I said, I think Tim wants to do the singing. And, and that was the case.
Yeah.
So without further, we had that sitting. That was it. There was one time we had that sitting, and
wow.
Then it was a quiz. And since then, I haven't spoken to Tim since 1990, so it's 30 years.
That's crazy.
Sticks and I, we see each other every now and then.
Yeah, because you guys did the shotgun thing.
Yeah, exactly. And Harry and I are on terms. We are speaking, and every now and then, not every day, but once a month, to see how's the family, how are you doing, this and that, and the thoughts. So, but me and Tim, we haven't spoken since 1990.
But is Tim still living here, isn't he? Because he's been.
Yeah,
he's still in North
America. I don't know where in the U.S. he is right now. I know he lived in Seattle for a while. I think he lives in California. I don't know.
Yeah, because he was.
But after I kind of lost track after the Manson thing with him.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything about him recently. Now they've come out and said there may be a reunion of some sort.
Yeah, I think. Again, I don't have any insight, but that's what I heard, and I thought that was the big thing that was coming out 2020, but COVID-19 beat them. I think that was the case, because I heard, and even some things were coming out that they were getting back together again, and all of a sudden everything died again.
Yeah.
Right, by the COVID-19. So I think they have something. It's I don't ask Harry about it when we talk, because if he want to talk about it, he will.
He'll ask.
If he doesn't want to talk about it, he's a very private person, and I salute him for that. And I never ask any shotgun things or anything like that, or we rarely talk. Well, we talk about old memories, and we talk about the fun time we had, and the great time we had, because we were the only band out of Sweden that really made it in that kind of way with our stuff. So and we were young, and we were, hungry with it. So, we had an absolutely great time together.
Yeah.
So we talk about that, but with the reunion thing, he hasn't said a word, and I haven't asked him either. But I had absolutely a strong feeling that they were gonna go back together again and do something, which I think would be cool.
That would be cool. I mean, there's a few confusing things about Shotgun Messiah, because all three, like, you've got the first album with you, the second one, Tim becomes the singer. It's still kind of, it's a more punky sound, but it's still in that same vein. And then the third album, which was, for me, it totally alienated me as a fan, because I was like, I don't get this. This is way left field, right? So it was just one of those things, right? But at the same time, the music was changing too, right? So I think
the music was changing, and I believe I should not credit because I don't know who's the credit for, but I think that's the way. At least I know Tim wanted to go,
Mm-hmm.
and the more industrial stuff, because I know he was very much into that
Right.
quite early. And as you said, times were changing, and but I thought also that Second Coming was an absolute great album.
I agree.
Uh,
I think it was too. I mean, I actually have that on vinyl too,
yeah,
which
yeah,
was
I think of the absolute great album. The third album, to be honest, I didn't really understand. I never been kind of an industrial
me
guy
neither.
either. So
I'm the same.
but then I heard some demos, and the demoing is more like a rock and roll stuff.
Oh,
And then I get the songs. I get the songs a lot more, but the end product, so to speak. But I think they were working with Sankan. That's a guy in Sweden
right.
who's known for the industrial stuff, and I think that they wanted to go that way with him. So that's what they did.
That's cool. Now,
Uh, so I can understand as a, and that often when you see these things around Shaka Masai, it's two things. It's either is Zinny the greater singer than Tim, or is Tim the greater singer than me, or the first album sucked, or no, I love the first album most, or and so on. So I think you have these divided with the things just due to the fact that all three albums was kind of different.
yeah, I mean, my honest feeling on it is I love the first two. I love them both. I like them both because
Uh,
the music's really good. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I've, what was it called? New Violent Breed, I think. Is that what it was called?
Violet New Breed, yeah.
Violet New Breed. So I think I heard a couple tracks off it, and it just, I'm not an industrial guy, so it wasn't my thing, right?
Uh,
So I can't comment on the fact whether I would like it now or I'd have to go back and
no.
listen to it. So
And back then, and I would say it's probably the same now, but as you say, when you're moving from where you came from and into the industrial thing,
yeah,
your supporters get kind of, what is this? Where are you? Where are you at? Are you industrial all of a sudden? So that, let's say, the glam rock or sleaze rock or the rock audience,
yeah,
they feel like, well, they go in industrial and gets kind of alienated from the band, while the industrial people go like, well, that was kind of a glam band, right? What's
yes,
this?
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if these transitions, in my mind anyway, I would rather change the name of the band
I agree.
instead. It's the same with Motley Crue.
I was just going to say that. Yeah,
To be honest, I absolutely love the album with John Corabi.
me too.
I think it's a fantastic album. But if that album had come out with another band and not Motley Crue, I think that album would have been an absolute hit.
Yes.
But since all of a sudden this was the new Motley Crue's kind of thing, it's like the audience go like, no, this is not it. This is not the Crue I know. And the people that love the heavier kind of music, they go like, Motley Crue trying to be this. Well, no, thank you. I think it's a tough one to do.
Yeah, and I agree. And I still think that Hooligan's Holiday was, I remember the first time hearing it on the radio before the album came out and thought, wow, that was my first um, reaction to it. I thought, wow, this is a great song. But I also knew of John Corabi from the Scream, and I had, when he got the gig, I went out and bought that Scream album so that I could familiarize myself with what Motley Crue was doing because I'm a huge Motley Crue fan, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's history now, right? Now, I wanted to ask you, speaking of Harry, has he played guitar on anything since Shotgun Messiah?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's a very very private guy. But he's been playing with he's been doing at least two albums with let's see what's his name now. He's a solo guy. Very strange music.
Okay.
Very, oh God. Why did I lose that now? Why did I lose that?
It's okay.
Tom Tom Waits.
Tom Waits, really?
Yes, Tom Waits.
Wow, that was
Yeah,
totally in left
you
field.
didn't see that one
I
coming,
did
right?
not see that one coming. Wow, that's cool.
Neither did I when I heard about it the first time, but I think it's way cool.
That is
So
cool.
yeah, so I don't know if it's Harry or Harry's wife that knows Tom Waits since before. So and since Harry is such a great guitar player, Tom Waits asked him. So he's playing on a couple of songs, I think on two albums,
Right.
and then he also played. I think he played guitar also on. I don't know if you're familiar with a great bass player called Stuart Ham. Stuart
Yep.
Ham.
Stuart Ham. Yep. Played with Joe
Yeah, so
Satriani.
he played a couple of songs there. I think Steve Vai did too.
Wow.
So I think Steve Vai and Harry played on that album.
That's cool.
So that's what I know that he's been doing.
That's cool. That's cool.
But he's been playing guitar all the time because he had his firm that he had that made music, commercial music for for commercials and stuff like that.
That's cool. I mean, I think he didn't get enough recognition. I think people that know him know how good he is, but there wasn't enough. Enough people don't know him. I mean, I remember the first time I heard the Explorer and thought, "Wow, this is just so cool." Just
yeah, I absolutely agree with you. To be honest with you, I used to play with a phenomenal guitar player called Key Marcello.
Yes,
when I had my band Easy Action, and after I left Easy Action, and I thought like, okay, I'm never gonna find a guitar player like that again.
Right.
And then when Harry and Tim found me, because that's what they did. They heard from a rock magazine and got my number and called me up.
That's cool.
And I was listening to the music and I loved it. And I said, well, absolutely, let's try out and see if we fit together. And when we were making this album, the Kingpin album, one of the solos when he was doing, I was like, okay, hang on here. I was sitting in the control room. And I go into her and he was sitting in a small room. And I said, do you mind if I sit right next to you here while you're doing the solo? And I said, no, absolutely, that's fine, Zinny. But why? Because I want to see what the hell you are doing on that guitar. Because
So cool,
never heard anything like that. I said, I have to see what the fuck is he doing. So yeah, an absolutely amazing guitar player. And I think the story thing when it comes to, I don't know, story, but as you say, he has never got the recognition he should have had because he's an absolutely amazing guitar player. But I think it was, a few things. First of all, Shotgun came right before the grunge.
Yeah.
So if we had 2 years maybe to it, so people could really get into and say, okay, that's Shotgun Messiah, that's an absolute excellent guitar player and so on and so forth. That could be it. And then again, all these people that, like Mike Varney and the guys that always recognize
guys.
Yeah. They absolutely loved Harry and so on and so forth. But then again, Harry was never, let's say, he wasn't the person like Yngwie or Steve Vai, or he was never the show off guy.
Right.
Harry has never been that. Harry's a Harry, and he's it's hard to say being private when you're an entertainer.
Yeah.
But Harry was never a show off. Harry loved playing guitar. He absolutely loves his guitar and music, but he would never be a show off.
Right.
And I think that was the lack of it because in the US, people that couldn't even play guitar, they were acting like absolute rock stars.
Yeah.
And maybe that was a little bit of the thing why he didn't get the attention he deserved. I don't know. And due to the fact that this album came out in '89, and in October 1990, the grunge was already there. Right?
Yeah, it was starting to.
But he an amazing guitar player and an amazing musician. Because you heard his guitar playing, you heard his songwriting, and so on and so forth. But when you see this man working and looking at things, and he can hear things, and he says that, no, let's do it like this, because then it's going to sound like that instead. And so he was very, very clever.
Wow, that's amazing. And I mean, like you said, and it wasn't that I was taking anything away from Key Marcello, because I mean he's amazing too, and I mean I love the stuff he did on the Europe stuff, and his solo stuff now too is really impressive from what I've seen. So two great guitar players, like you said.
He is a really good guitar player, but again, Harry's really something else.
And I mean, then you put Rob Martello into the equation as well, and you've worked with him as well, and I mean, I've got to hang out with Rob when he was in Danger, and he's just a fantastic person as well as a great guitar player. So
yeah, he's the nicest guy, absolutely, and when it comes to the shotgun stuff, if anyone could pull off to do what Harry did, it would be Rob.
Yeah.
And he did it excellent, absolutely excellent. Because sometimes Rob just looked at me and said, "Is this the way Harry played it?" And I said, "God, I don't know. Don't ask me. Listen to the albums." And he goes like, "But this is crazy. I have a hard time doing this." But
Rob said that. Wow.
Yeah, but he nailed it every show. But he said that Harry guy is absolutely crazy. So yeah. So Rob also an amazing guitar player.
Yes.
If anyone's going to pull off the Harry thing, it was him.
It was. I totally agree with you. It's funny because I mean, I once said to Rob, I was like, "Rob, I love your playing," and he's so humble. He's just like, "Yeah, whatever." He's like, "Thank you," but he's like, "Yeah, whatever. It's just what I do."
Yeah. But that's absolutely Rob for you.
It's totally Rob. It's so funny. So that's awesome. Now, well, Zinny, I really want to thank you for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it. It was great to sit down and talk to you about all the shotgun and Zan Clan and what you're up to now.
So my pleasure. My pleasure. Really fun talking to you as well. And always great to hear that, this album comes up still like 30 plus years.
That's something crazy, right?
Which is really cool. And that's what, not to say what me and Harry are talking about when we are talking, but again, that was a special time, and for us it was a special album as well. Which I guess it was both the other albums for Harry as well, but this one when I was with, so it's really cool. It's really cool that people still sometimes talks about it, and that little impression that Shotgun made, and I know that people have said, "Yeah, you should have been huge and you should have been this." I think that Harry, as you said, he should have been recognized as a absolute fantastic guitar player. But sometimes life comes and do some funny stuff.
That's right.
That's it.
I mean, when you put that into perspective, there were so many bands to compete with too, right?
Oh yes.
Right.
Back in those days, it was absolutely crazy. It was everyone should have their own Guns N' Roses or Motley Crue or whatever.
That's right.
There was tons of bands.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
So it was absolutely a fun time, but it was great competition. Absolutely.
That it was. Everybody had to be great, right? Every night. Night out.
Oh yeah.
So
that's true. Well, great talking to you as well, Tyson.
You too,
and hope you don't have a snow blizzard or anything like that.
I hope not. My fingers are crossed.
Okay. That's good.
Okay, man. Well, you enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah. The same to you, man. Take care.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Up and down, all around, you can't get enough. Show me heaven and hell all over again. So take me out of control me, baby, please save me. You're so damn good when you're bad. Me out of control me, baby, please save me. You're so damn good when you're bad. I roll aside in the bed.